What's up, Notjust developers? Welcome back to a new live stream. And today we are going to continue the Instagram clone that we started previous week. This project we are building using React Native Expo router for the navigation. We are also using native Wind UI for styling, which allows us to use Tailwind CSS to style our React Native components. For the backend, we're using Supabase, and for improving the media and for delivering media for videos and images, we are using Cloudinary. And actually, Cloudinary is the sponsor of this project, and using Cloudinary, we are optimizing our images so that when the user is using our application, we deliver really optimized images for their screen size, for their device, and improve the performance of our application. We're going to see more in today's video how we can improve our videos as well, not only images, so stay tuned and let's go ahead and continue the Instagram clone. You can access the step-by-step guide following the link in the description below, where you're going to find more resources and the tasks that we're going to do today. But the focus is going to be around these features. We would like to implement features for updating the profile. We didn't manage to do that in the previous live stream. I would like to implement video posts and also show you how we can upload videos, how we can deliver to the user, how we can optimize videos as well. I like to implement a bit more features on the backend, for example, likes, and maybe show the relationships between models like post and likes and users. And at the end, I would also like to show you how we can integrate push notifications. I think this kind of applications, a social media application like Instagram, having push notifications is a must, and I believe you're gonna love it. So that's the plan. If you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. As I said, this is the second part of our Instagram clone, and you can go ahead and check the GitHub repository, the source code in the description below, and then we can start from the same point. Yeah, I think it's this one, notjust.dev/Instagram. Go ahead and I'm actually going to create a separate branch for you so that you can access it at any point in time. I'm gonna do that as let's do git checkout -b part 1, and then git push origin part 1. And this should have created a separate branch that I'm not going to edit later, so you can check it out if you want to start from the same point as I'm starting. Clone it on your repository, switch to part 1, and then in the environment variables, go ahead and add your Cloudinary name, your Supabase configuration, the URL of Supabase, and the Supabase anon key. Also, make sure to check out the first video to see what exactly we implemented. Now I'm going to do git checkout -b main, and I'm going to continue working on main. Not -b, but just main. Okay, so here is our project. This is our home screen. We have a bottom tab navigation. On the home screen, we are rendering posts. Then we have another page where we can upload posts. For example, I can select a picture here, I can crop it, I can do choose, I can write a caption, and then I can do share. Now the image is being uploaded to Cloudinary, and the post is saved in the database on Supabase. If I refresh, I see the new post being added here. As well, we have a user interface for the profile screen, and it's not yet possible to update anything here, but today we are probably going to start with this page to allow users to update their profiles as well. These images are optimized and they are rendered using Cloudinary image component, for example, in the post list item, we have for the avatar, we have the image that we are resizing on based on 48 by 48 width and height, and also we are focusing on the person face so that it's better displayed as an avatar. Because without, for example, this gravity, it would look like this. Check the avatar, or in that case, that's actually like a very closed up shot of the person. Okay, so that's what we are working with. I also I went ahead and filtered our posts to only show my posts, because without this, I saw that you guys have found the API keys for the project and you have uploaded a lot of pictures, a lot of posts, which is nice. I'm very happy that you tried it out. Here we have, from the post that I see here, one of the problems that we have in the application is that because there are multiple posts of the same type, that means that when we try to upload, we are not showing any UI components displaying that, hey, currently we are uploading. So people will just press the upload multiple times. That's why we have so many posts of the same kind. But we're gonna figure that out in a second. But I'm gonna leave it like this to show other people as well, because one of the first things that I would like to fix is whenever the user doesn't have an avatar or a name, I would like to display some placeholders. Because right now the header is completely empty and it looks a bit weird. But we can go, for example, in the components, post list item, in this header, for example, for the username, let's provide a fallback here, new user, if, for example, the person does not have a username. So now we see at least it has some data, it's new user. It's not perfect. Maybe we can even prevent or ask the username upfront when the user registers. But anyway, it's better to have something than to display empty. And I want to do the same with the avatar. What I want to do is, the problem right now is the new users, they do not have the avatar URL. So this avatar is empty. What I want to do is to display some kind of dummy avatar, some kind of fallback, right? You can do that either with a local image by adding an image here to your assets. Maybe you can do, I don't know, user default image, something like this. You can find something that works better with your application. I'm not even sure like what I want to use. This one. Let's try that. I'm gonna save this image. User. I'm gonna call it user. And what I want to do is, as I said, there are two options. Either you can add it to your assets and have this fallback image as a local image. In this case, your image is going to be bundled with your application when building it. It's going to increase a bit the size of your application, but the benefit is that it's going to live on the user device. It's not going to be necessary to load it from anywhere. Another approach is to put it in Cloudinary and then download it as we download the other images. But with the benefit here is that we are not increasing the bundle size of application, but the difference is that we have to download it. With proper caching implemented, we are only gonna download it once. So let's go to our Cloudinary dashboard under the media library and go ahead and simply drag and drop your newly the downloaded image in your library. Now select it and copy the public ID. Let's go back. And where we have avatar, the problem is that avatar URL is null right now. So let's add a fallback here saying that if user avatar is null, then use this user and something. Now we see that users with no avatar will use this picture. And if I scroll down until I find my posts that have an avatar, they are going to display this avatar URL. So now everything works, and even with missing data, it shows something. Hello everyone who is joining us live. How are you doing, guys? Hello Samit, hello Ahmed, Alejandro, Dmitry, Gabriel, Faisal, King, Balu, David. Can you explain how to make bottom sheet in React Native? Not sure if we're gonna integrate it here. The library that I'm using for bottom sheet is from Gorham. It's this one. So yeah, check it out on their documentation. If you can recommend like a feature in Instagram that needs the bottom sheet, maybe we can do it if we have time until then. Gabriel from South America, hello. Faisal, thank you very much for smashing the like button. Yeah guys, if you enjoy these tutorials, make sure to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, that helps us a lot and I'd really appreciate it. Is it revamp? What does that mean? How much time does it take to publish an app to Play Store and App Store? Probably more than 20 minutes. I would say dedicate yourself like half a day if this is the first time you're doing it, maybe even more. Later, when you do it like multiple times, it can take like 30 minutes to 1 hour. The problem is that you need like a lot of assets, screenshots to upload there, a lot of descriptions. So the technical part is not that complicated, especially if you're using EAS. But you need like a lot of things, like as I said, like images and so on. And later you need to pass the reviews from Apple and Play Store, and that can take quite a lot of time. Hello Khalid, how are you doing? Subscribe, like, thank you very much Pranshu. Okay, so let's continue. Let me go ahead and do here a quick git add, git commit -m fallback images. Git, I can do git push. And let's check our plan. So here from improvements, we have done this one, fallback avatar and username. Now probably updating the profile. So here we have our profile. If I go here, we see the profile. The screen is going to be under our application. We're using Expo Router. And under the tabs, we have a profile, and we are displaying the text input for the username. It also supports picking an image, but it doesn't have uploading it yet. So we're gonna have to do all of this here. Look, the Supabase React Native, the documentation or the guide, like build a user management application with Expo and React Native, it has this part of profile screen. Here it is, account page. So what it does is it first fetches the profile, and based on the profile, it populates the fields with the existing data. And then we have update profile that updates the data. So should we write it ourselves? Let's write it ourselves. So the first step is to pre-populate the data with the ones from the database, because I already have a username. And when updating it, I would like to see it here. So that is going to happen here in a use effect. We are going to call a function, let's say get profile. Let's create this function get profile. It's going to be an async function. And the way we're going to get the profile is, first of all, we need to know the ID of our profile. The ID of our profile is going to be the same ID as our authentication ID, like for the user. So let's go ahead and take the user from our use of context, where we're keeping track of a session, of user, and so on. Do we have here? No, we only have user. And when fetching the profile, we're going to use the user ID. So let's go ahead and do const data and error is going to be equal to Supabase, to await Supabase. The Supabase is going to be, we already have Supabase here, right? It was imported from our library. So we need to select here the table to specify the table. The table is profile, right? We can double check that on our Supabase dashboard. Under the table editor, we have posts and profiles. So here should be plural profiles. We want to select either all the fields, or you can specify the fields that you want to select, for example, username. But I think I will select all of them and keep it simple. But I don't want to select to get all the profiles in the table. I want to get only the one where the ID is equal to our user ID. Basically, fetching my own profile. And because user can be null, probably here we can check if user is null, then stop here, like return. And if you also do dot single, instead of returning an array, it's going to return the first item in that array. So now we can do console log data. And usually I also do if error, then alert from React Native dot alert failed to fetch profile. Okay, let's go ahead in the terminal and see. Yes, actually it worked. It returned the profile with username Vadim, and that means that everything is working properly. Now with this data, what I want to do is, first of all, I want to set the username with the data from the database. So set username with data.username. I'm gonna remove the data here. And as you can see, by going to profile, the field is already has the value that we have in the database. Now we can change it, but nothing is gonna happen yet if we press update profile. That is going to be our next step. The next step is going to implement a function called update profile, which is async. that is going to be called when we press on the update profile button. So on press update profile, and what we have to do is, again, we have to do await supabase.from the profiles table. I want to update, and here we need values. Let me check how that is happening here in the guide. Updating a profile. Oh, it's actually upserting, which means that either update or insert, but I'm not sure what's the benefit of upserting here. So I'm gonna leave it like this. But we need update and a list of values. And one of the important one is the ID of the item that we want to update. So the important value is ID, which should be, by the way, we don't need the question mark anymore there. So let's do user ID. And the second one that we will update is the username field. So the fields that we specify here will be updated. And I'm gonna do the same if statement at the top to make sure that we only do that when we have a user. And let's get back the data and error. I'm not sure if we need the data, but at least the error we needed. And I'm gonna do this if statement alert. Failed to update profile. So if I'm gonna do the dim123 update, I don't see anything. And if I go to profiles and find my profile, where is it? Oh, here, the username is vadim123. And if I'm gonna reload the application to make sure that we load it again, yes, indeed, that's the case. So I can delete it, update it, and in the database, it's updating. Okay, so that's correct. We are correctly fetching existing data above the profile and then updating it here. So this is a starting point for you to add multiple fields here from the database that you want to update. For example, you can do the same thing with a full name, with a website. You can even go ahead in the profiles and do edit table, and under the columns, add a new column. For example, you can add here the bio of type text, save, go back, and just simply check everywhere where you have username. We have it here. That means that we need a new state for the bio. I'm just showing you how you would add multiple fields here. In the get profile, we are selecting it, and the same way as we are setting the username in state, let's set the existing bio in state. Bio. Update profile. Here we need, besides updating the username, to update the bio. And let's see what else. And we will need a new text input with a label. So let's just simply copy paste them. Say here bio, for the text input placeholder bio, value bio, and so on. If I go here, you can even do here for the text input multi-line, number of lines 2. I don't know why it's not, oh, it grows. So yeah, you can do hello there, this is me. Update profile, you're gonna see that it updated the bio here. And later on you can display it somewhere in the application. So yeah, it's as simple as that. And when we go back here, we see the bio again. Let me check if we didn't create a custom text component. I would like to extract these two things, the label and the text input, into a separate component so that we can easier reuse it in our application. For that, in the components, let's create a custom text input.tsx. Let's do here export default function custom text input, and let's return here the text and the text input like this. Make sure to do import text from React Native and text input from React Native, because it has two items here that violates the rule of JSX. JSX should always return one single item, and in this case we can simply put them into an empty item or fragment. Okay, that works. And in this situation, what's happening here is that, yeah, let's go ahead and do. I'm explaining this very well in our upcoming course, but it takes a bit of time to explain how to extend the text input. So first things first, we want to send some data, for example, bio or the value and the onChange text through the properties. For the label, that's simple because we're going to define a label here in the properties and we're going to render the label here. When using or when rendering this custom input in our profile, for example, here below this one, I'm going to render a custom text input. I can send here the label called bio. So for the label, that's clear, but for the value and onChange text, we could go ahead and do the same, like we define it here, value, then onChange text, and so on and so forth. And later on, like number of lines and all the properties that we might want to send from, for example, profile down to the text input. But that would take a lot of time. So instead of that, what I will do is I will extend this custom text input from the text input. To do that, you should simply take the rest of the properties here, call them, for example, text input props, and go ahead and accept the class name, which we want here. Let's delete everything else and simply spread the text input properties like this. Now back to the profile, we can take everything from this text input except the class name and send these properties to the custom text input. Now if I go to this one, we see the text input, the first one, without a class name, which I should already delete. And we see our custom text input with a label and with value, with proper set onChange text, with proper multi-line properties and so on. Now we can do the same for the previous one. We can do a label, this is the label, and this except the class name, which we don't need to send. That's part of our custom component, the styling of it. We can do it like this. So now, instead of rendering 4 components here, we just render 2 of them, and we don't care about the styling of it at the higher level. What's going on? Why do we have one more there? Will this be a video after the lives? Yes, that's correct. Best cake. What I'm working on, I'm building the Instagram clone in React Native Expo router with native Wind UI, Supabase on the database, Cloudinary for media, and yeah. Right now I'm working on updating the profile. Not sure what's happening here with my simulator. Let's do it again. Tammy is asking, can I get the source code? Yes, it's in the description. So yeah, here now our 2 text input work perfectly, and I can add them in a view. To add some spacing between them, it will make sense to add them inside a view with a class name gap 5 or gap 4. But as you can see, the gap 4, I expected the gap to be added only between these 2 items, but in fact it was added between the label and the text input as well. That's because we are using a fragment, and a fragment will simply put these 2 components here, and they will be kind of 4 components side by side, and the parent has a gap. To solve this, instead of a fragment, on the custom text input, I'm going to put a view and make sure to import it from React Native. And now, yes, the gap 4 here, or even 5, is going to work well. It's only going to be between the items. I can do it even 12 so you can see better. Okay, so now that's a better way of managing this form. Let's go ahead and do a git add, git commit, update profile form. That's cool. And what's left on the profile screen actually is being able to upload an image and save it. So how are we going to implement it? Well, we have these functionalities when we are uploading a post. Let's see what we're doing there. Sorry. Bara, yes, I'm going to use the Expo notifications. Okay, so what are we doing here? After picking the image, we set it in state, and before we create a post, we are uploading the image, which is a reusable function from our Cloudinary that we created. So yeah, then we have a public ID. Well, that's basically it. We need to call this upload image from the profile if the user selected a new image. Let's do that. Let's go to our profile. And here we have pick image. What we are doing with it is we are calling set image in state, and we are only calling set image there, which means that when we press update profile, we can check if the user selected an image, then we can go ahead and upload it to Cloudinary. Upload image, let's import it from our source lib Cloudinary. Where is it? Update profile. In here we can do console log response.public ID. The public ID is the ID that we can access this image publicly. So now if I do update profile, I expect to see a public ID here. No? Yes, I see it here. And the last step is to set it on the profile. But for that, I'm gonna have to export this part from here. I'm gonna put it outside. Updated profile equal to this one. And I'm going to set updated profile dot, how's it called? Profiles, avatar URL equal to response public ID. Let's check it out. If and in update I need to send this update profile. Not here, I made a mistake. It should be updated.profile. So now if I do press the button, I don't know what's happening. But if I reload here, I see that the image has updated. And because we are focusing on my face, we see like clearly that it focused correctly. And I can go ahead and change it again. Press update profile. I think, yeah. And if I reload, file size is too large. Okay, I need another one. For example, I don't know, this one. Okay, yes, so updating the profile picture works. I think the only thing that is not going to work is not going to show the previous one. So in order to show the previous one, similar to how we are doing it in the post, in the component post list item, we have an advanced image with a Cloudinary image. So let's go ahead in the profile and do the following. In the return here, we are displaying the avatar image picker. So if it has a locally selected image, if a user selected an image, we are gonna display this one. Else, we are currently displaying simply a gray background. This is good like when the user doesn't yet have an image. However, if the user has an image, so I'm gonna add another tertiary question mark operator here. Where is it? Profile. Where is the get profile? Get profile. In the get profile, we have a data. What should I do with the data? So we have this image, which is local image. I can have another state variable for remote image. use state, it's null. I can type it the same as string or null. And when we fetch it from Supabase, we can do set remote image with data.avatar URL. Now, similar to how we did it here in post list item, we can optimize it, resize it before returning the JSXN profile. Let's go ahead and do, it's going to be CLD. Let's import it from source library Cloudinary. We're going to do it based on the remote image. Let's do it like this. Let's do let image, and if remote image, then we are going to optimize it. But we need to call it a bit different. Remote Cloudinary image. Let's also import the thumbnail to our profile at the top. And for the width, I can do, I don't know, 300 over 300. Now with this remote Cloudinary image, here, after, like, the priority is going to be a local image. If a user selected locally, then we need to render that one. Otherwise, we will check if there is a remote Cloudinary image, then we're going to render the advanced image from Cloudinary, and only then as a fallback, we are going to render this one. And here we need a question mark. So this is like 3 options, like, if there is an image, do this one. Otherwise, check if there is a remote Cloudinary image, render the advanced image, and only if there is nothing, display a simple view. Here in advanced image, we need to send the Cloudinary image, remote Cloudinary image, and I think also some styles. So I can take this class name and send it here. If I go here, now I'm supposed to see the remote Cloudinary image, but I'm not. Why is that the case? Let's do console log remote image. Yeah, the remote image exists. You're not setting remote Cloudinary image variable. I'm doing it here. Oh. Sorry, I'm redeclaring it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, now it's here. So let's check all 3 options. If a user just signs up, he's not gonna have an avatar URL. We can set it to null. Set null. I'm gonna reload my application. Now our code will check. There is no image selected, there is no remote image, then we are rendering a simple gray background. If, however, I select something here, it's going to go here in a local image and render this one. If I click save, this one doesn't work because it's too large, but if I do these flowers and then do update profile, and then reload the application, now it's supposed to show the image from remote. I'm not sure if I let it upload. Probably I stopped too soon. Update. Let's wait for a second. Do you ever use Node.js? Yeah, when working on the backend. Yep. Now if I go here, what again? Am I updating the avatar URL? No, I'm not. Why? Tell me why. Update. Are you updating? Yes, it is. Probably that one is too large as well. So if I go here, it's supposed to load the image from Cloudinary, and then if you override it with a local one, it's going to change right away. Perfect. So now our updating a profile works perfectly, and I can go ahead and commit the changes. Update profile avatar. Perfect. So from our plan, updating profile works. The next step is going to be videos. I would like the user to be able to share not only photos, but videos as well. I think that's an important part of a social media application, and I would like to show you how we can do it. Thank you, Bara, for recommending how to fix that issue. Native Wind is a dark class name working for you. That's a very good question. Yeah, I'm using Native Wind, and this is kind of for the first time. So you are suggesting, for example, having background slate, I don't know, 400 here, and having something like dark background red, right? So is that supposed to apply only when dark mode? If yes, that would be so dope. Let me switch to dark mode. Why it's not? Okay, this is light mode. No, it's not working for me. Well, that's a good question. Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with Native Wind. I worked a lot with Tailwind, and now I'm trying to use Native Wind, and it's working fine so far. Native Wind. Let's check out this dark. Dark mode. Appearance, get color scheme on native, and prefers color scheme on web. So something here. Color theme is common for apps to support like nerd. Expo do not follow a system appearance unless you is set to automatic. The dark variant is controlled by use color scheme hook. Toggle. So does that mean that by changing here apps somewhere appearance to automatic, will that work? Yes, it works. You see? And that's super cool to be able to use this dark. So by doing dark double dots, you can apply this property only when in dark mode. For example, I can do 900, but not, let's do gray. So here is proper light mode and dark mode implemented. Joel, hello, salute from Brazil. Hello, hello. Actually, hello is in my language, like my native tongue, is also salute. I'm from Moldova and we speak Romanian here. So, Srikar, hopefully that works. Only thing you have to do is user interface automatic and the dark property is going to work. So lovely. Harash is saying, one of the best tech YouTubers right now. Learn so much from you. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much for the nice words. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's continue. So, as I was saying, my next step is to allow users to upload videos. So let's start from the place where the posts are created. This is the new page here. Let's go there, application, tabs, new. And the first step is this pick image function. We specify that we only want to allow users to pick images. If we go ahead and do here options all, we're also going to be able to select videos. Go ahead and simply drag and drop from your PC some videos to your device so that you can have something to work with. Try to have like short videos. It's going to take less to upload and download, so it's going to be easier for you to work with. Baram, I'm gonna get back to your question a bit later. Let me continue like my thought with videos here. And maybe even the function should not be pick image, but pick media. Just to make sure that it's understandable. You can copy and find like here in this file, where else we call pick image. For example, on this button, let's do pick media. Now, if I go ahead and do console log result, maybe result.assets at position 0, and we can also json.stringify to see what's the result when we select a video. Null and here too. And if we look here and select a video, choose, why it's not here? We see that it has the same URI, but it also has here a type video. So that means that we can check if type is equal, not type like this, but if results assets dot type equal to image, then set the image state. Else, let's go ahead and set another state variable that will store the video. Again, here there are multiple options. You can store it in the same state and an additional state for the type, or two separate ones. I created the set video, and here let's do set video with the same data, the URI of the video. So now if I go ahead and select the video, I'm opening it too often. It doesn't display anything because we didn't set the image, we set a different state variable for the video. So here we're not rendering it yet. So next step is to render the video here. To render the video, we can use Expo AV. Expo AV is a library for managing audio and video. However, this is the recommended library to work with nowadays. So if you're watching it in July 2024, probably go ahead and integrate with Expo AV. However, very soon we're gonna switch to Expo Video Library, and I mean most probably, I'm not sure. This is a new library that has the goal of modernizing the API of a video library from Expo, and it also has the goal of separating audio and video functionalities from Expo AV to two separate libraries. As you can see here at the moment of recording this video, it's still experimental, and it aims to replace the video component from Expo AV with a more modern and reliable implementation. If you're looking for a more stable API, use Expo AV, but most probably if you're watching this video later, this Expo video might be already stable. To provide a quicker update, Expo Video is currently not supported in Expo Go and Snack. To use it, you need to create a development build. Oh well, I wanted to show you how to use Expo Video, but I don't really want to wait for a development build to be created. It's gonna take a couple of minutes. So that means that I'm gonna go back to Expo AV, which is the current stable implementation of video playback. And anyway, we will not use it very often. We're only going to use this video player on this page. On the home page, we're going to use the video player provided by Cloudinary. But let's go ahead and install Expo AV to have a preview of a video that we just selected. I'm going to go ahead and copy the installation command. Let's go here. Let's install Expo AV. We need to configure for microphone permission, but at this moment I don't need it because I'm not using audio or recording. So let's keep it. Usage, this is for audio, this is for video, and we can actually go to the video documentation for a proper example of video. The video component, let's go. We have here the video component. Let's go ahead and copy it and render it in this on the new.tsx page. When we create a post, if we have an image, render the image. Otherwise, let's add here another question mark operation. If we have a video, question mark, then render the video, and only otherwise render the empty component. Let's import video from Expo AV. For the styles, instead of styles, I'm gonna add class names like we have here. For the source, let's keep it this one for a second. Resize mode, let's import from Expo AV. And for the status, I don't want to control it too much. Like I just want it to be looping, and I don't even need the reference. I actually have to delete it because this video is something else, it's not a reference. Now if I'm gonna go here and select a video, it's not working. I'm suspecting the styles, so let's go ahead and grab these styles and let's put them anyway. Every time like some video or images are not working, I'm just gonna go with width 300, height 300. Select this one, choose. As you can see, that was actually the problem. So, why class name is not working? Well, I don't have the time to debug that, but I'm going to just check here 200 pixels, like width 200. Instead of height, I'm gonna give the same aspect ratio, but maybe not even that aspect ratio. I'll do here an aspect ratio of 1, like this. Resize mode, contain, I'm gonna do cover for some reason to cover the whole area there. I'm going to do autoplay or should play, how is it called? Should play. And here it is, the video is playing. Maybe indeed should be contain. Okay, so that's our video player with native controls. You can disable these native controls if you don't need them. I'm not sure why they're still displayed. So it doesn't have native controls. You can create your own UI for the controls. In this case, maybe that should be the case. Come on, please stop. Probably, yeah. Yeah, I think like without native controls, it would be much better. But I'm gonna leave it here for simplicity. I just want to show that it's possible. And instead of this URL, I need to display the URL of a video that we selected.
Instagram clone in React Native.
Yep, like this. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I optimize the style for this specific video, but you can do better for depending on your case or what you're trying to do. And I can change it here to image, and an image is going to take over the video. But if after this I'm gonna select a video, the image is still going to be selected. That's because when we press pick media, I think we have to reset here both of them. Set image null and set video null. Just to make sure that we are, when selecting something else, we are deselecting the other one. Yes, it works. Okay. And maybe with this use effect that opens the picker, you should also do like if video. So indeed, maybe it was better to store both video and image in the same state. And only have like a different state for the type. That probably would have been easier and better. Let's refactor. I think indeed that is going to be way better. So instead of having a state for image and a state for video, I'm going to have a state for media that is going to have a URL of both image and video. Set media. And I will have a state for media type. Set media type. And the types can be null or video or image. Now here I'm going to replace image and video to media. Same thing here. If there is no media selected. In the pick media, we're gonna launch it. We don't need to reset it. As you can see, like a lot of management is going to be much easier. The setting stuff is going to also be like set media. We don't need to do if statements here. We're gonna just do set media with this URI and then set media type with this type, which can be video or image or undefined. So here I need to do, instead of null, undefined to match the same as here. And I'm going to remove the if statements completely. So as you can see, it's much easier to work with this. Creating a post, we're going to check if there is no media. We cannot create it. Then upload media. And here the checks are going to be the following. Let's do it from scratch. I think now it's going to be easier to check if there is no media, question mark, then render this view. So if there is no media, render this one. Otherwise, here we're going to have another condition. Now we know that there is media, we just need to decide what type is that media. So the question is going to be if the media type is equal to image, question mark, now render an image. Otherwise, render a video. Like this. Let me remove the old one, and instead of URI image, URI media, here as well media. Yeah, so now it makes a bit more sense. Let's check if it still works. If I select a photo, it's gonna be here, a video.
Today we have built.
Yes, it's here as well. And I can go back to an image. and I still work with the same kind of state for the URL of our media. Perfect. So this is on the part of locally, like like with our media, we have selecting the media, then uploading the media, then saving it in the database, then reading it, and then displaying it in the feed. So far, we handled only selecting it from the library. Now, the step is to make sure to be able to upload it to Cloudinary and then later save it in the database. For that, let's go ahead and see how are we uploading to Cloudinary. That's happening through this upload image. When we create a post, upload image, and if we are going to select a video and press share, what's gonna happen then? We see a possible unhandled promise rejection, invalid image file. The error message suggests that the upload image that is coming from our library Cloudinary that we implemented somehow expects this to be an actual image. That's because of these options. If I would go ahead and type them, if I will check here in the upload, the type of the options is upload API options, and type my API options with this one, I should see that there are some options, I maybe open them here, related to video or related to media type. Here, resource type. So resource type, if not specified, is going to probably be video. Let's try a resource type auto. Will that work? I'm not sure. I'm just trying it. So let's do share. Will it detect that this is a video? I think it did. If I'm gonna go to our Cloudinary under assets and refresh. Yes, so auto actually worked perfectly. Now the file is uploaded and I can check uploading an image as well. Share. And it works as well. Here, refresh. Perfect. So the step of uploading the image to allow us to upload both images and videos to Cloudinary, the only thing that we had to do is set in our options the resource type auto. Okay, back to our part here. What's the next step? As I was saying, first select, then upload, then save in database. If we look in the database for the posts and sort them by ID, we see that yes, they have been saved, but now, yeah, they have been saved. But later, if we want to read, we're not gonna know like which one of these is an image and which one is a video. For that reason, if I'm gonna refresh my feed, I'm gonna see that the posts that are supposed to be videos, they are empty because they are trying to display it as an image and it fails. So we're gonna probably also need another column under the posts that will tell what media what media type that is. So under the post, let's go ahead and add a table. Let's add a column here and call it media type. You can do it as an enum or you can do it as a text. I'll do it as a text. And default, let's do default image. So if we don't specify anything, it's going to default to image. Let's go ahead and do save. And back in our project, when we create a post and when we insert a new item, we also need to set the media type. But the good thing is that now we have this media type stored in state. So we can take that state variable and save it in the database. Now if I'm gonna go ahead and pick a video and save it or share it, and let's go back in our table and see. Let's sort by created at descending. We're gonna see that the latest post that we uploaded is media type is video. The rest are image because that's what we set it with default. Cool, so now we are storing also what type is that media. I think a better column name from image would be media, or yeah, media key or public ID or Cloudinary something. But we're gonna roll with this and know that an image, the image field contains the ID of either the image or the video. So it's actually the media part. Let's go back to our application. And the last step is going to be the displaying, the rendering the video. So in the components, in the post list item, here is where we are rendering the content, the advanced image. And also here is where we have console log post.media type. So we're gonna see image, and some of them are video, for example, the first one. So based on this, we either have to render an advanced image here or an advanced video from Cloudinary. The advanced video, we will create it using, let's do it this way. Let me think. Yeah, basically, we're gonna have to create a video. Video equals cld dot video with post dot image, because we remember image is used for both of them. Then we can take this video, and here instead where we render the advanced image, we can say if post.media type is equal to image, then render the advanced image. Otherwise, render the advanced video. And the advanced video needs the CLD video and the video that we just created here with Cloudinary video. I think we also need class name. Let's see. Now it doesn't have a style or a class name. It's going to have video style. And for the video style, I'm gonna style it with JavaScript objects, like with 100%. I'm looking here, like with full is 100%, aspect ratio 4/3. And resize, does it have a resize mode? I don't know. So anyway, now here we have a video. We can play it and we see it in the feed. Here, not sure what's happening. Oh, it was a old one and it's also displayed as an image. That should probably be, which one? The third from the top is an actual video here. Yes. So yeah, just like that, we have here the Cloudinary video. But the thing is that it's not mandatory to use the advanced video component, because if you want to use the same, where is it? Application tabs, new. The same video component from Expo AV or later using Expo Video, you can do that. And in the URI, you're gonna do video dot to URL. So it's going to return you a normal URL to a video that you can play in any kind of players that you want. The problem is that with these properties like should play and is looping, now all the videos in the feed are gonna play at the same time. So probably you should not play it. You should play it only like if a user clicks it. So yeah, these are the two options, like either using the advanced video with Cloudinary or using a number player of your choice and calling video.toURL. I think this is a more flexible way and allows you to use any kind of players to add like functionalities of play, stop, and so on. So that was all the video functionalities, if I'm not mistaken. Git commit -m video posts. Perfect. Some components don't support class names, so you have to use the styled hello world component from native Wind. Yep. That's true. But I don't have like the patience to create like style components like this always. Like in a proper project, like I would do it, but now like I need to move fast, so I'd rather write some JavaScript styles. How to create a custom theme like dark in Tailwind, for example, sepia. This one. That's a good question. I think you are confusing light and dark with theming, because the dark part, it's not about theming, it's about the light and dark mode support. But theming like sepia and so on, this probably should be implemented like another way, and I believe it should be supported in native Wind. Joel is asking, how is it going with native Wind? I'm about to start a fairly big application. I'm thinking about using it. So far, to be honest, my experience is very pleasant. Like for basic styling, everything works. And I also have like experience with Tailwind CSS. if you also have experience with Tailwind CSS, I think it's going to be great for you. There are some rough edges, like in development, maybe from time to time when refreshing, the styles are not going to be applied. But I think a lot of these issues are going to be solved in the version 4, which I think I'm currently using in Native Wind. Where is Native Wind? Yeah, version 4. So yeah. I have high hopes for this Native Wind. So, if we look at our guide, update profile done, videos implemented. Next step is going to be likes. I want to allow users to create likes. Yeah, give me just 1 second. I'm gonna come back and we are going to implement likes. Yes, exactly. Don't forget to hydrate. So yeah, give me 1 minute. I'm gonna be back and we continue with implementing the likes functionalities. All right, I'm back. So, how are you doing, guys? What's the weather like in your country? Is it also so hot? Because it's here in Moldova, it's crazy. Yes, this video is going to be saved. It's actually raining. Where are you from? Okay, so let's see. We have Git status, everything. Yeah. Will you be doing a DM messaging system as well? I don't plan it at this moment. Nope. So, implementing likes, how is that going to work? Well, first of all, let's do that on the front end. On the front end, that is going to happen in our components post list item. Before I actually implement it, I would like to extract the part that is rendering the content of a post, either an image or a video, to a separate component. It's going to save us a bit of time, and I think we can improve here a bit the code of generating the images and the videos. So in the components, let's create a new file, post content.tsx, and do export default function post content equal to this. Well, it's not exactly like this. And we're gonna send the whole post here, and in the return, let's return it. Well, let's do it other way. Let's first take the image. Let's take the image in the post content, return it, and let's do it like this. Let's also take things that are related to the image. For example, this one and the width. Let's import use dimensions from here. Let's import Cloudinary, and let's import the thumbnail part also from Cloudinary. Let's import the advanced image like this. Now, what I want to do is I want to put this whole part in an if statement saying if post.media type equal to image, then create the Cloudinary image and return the advanced image. Then we can do if post.media type equal to video. Then we can move things like creating the video, and then returning the video here. Let's do a return. Return video. Resize mode as well. Now we can go ahead and import this post content here, and where we have content we can delete this part of advanced image and video and simply render the post content and send there the post that we are working with, like the data. That's it. And now we don't need the video here. We don't need the image, I believe. Where is it used? I don't think it's used here, so I can safely remove it. We don't need the width. We just need the avatar, which later can also probably be extracted. But anyway, the video is working, images are displayed, and they are all in a separate component. And now we kind of combine both the rendering and generating and optimizing Cloudinary images in the same code block. And we can have like these multiple media types. Maybe later we can have also a media type, and actually this should probably a better name for this is not media type but post type, and we can have a post type carousel to have like different carousels, maybe a post type reel that would redirect it to a different page, or a media type advertisement, I don't know. And all of them will be like if do something, return. Much better. And while we're still here, what we should also do is we can apply the same kind of transformations that we did on the image to the video as well to optimize it as well. We can go to the Cloudinary React Native. And here we have the page with video transformations. For example, we can resize, scale the video to 400. Let's try to do that. To the video, I'm going to apply a resize scale, which should be imported from actions resize. Here thumbnail, and another one is scale. So yeah, now that video is optimized to 400 width. Even if you upload like a full HD video on a small device, it's going to be optimized. I think this object syntax might be interesting. I can do transformations like this as well to rotate, maybe even apply filters. This is applying some editing, like round corners, adjusting the brightness. Yeah, you can do a lot of transformations like this. But the most important one is to scale it down. Hey, Tinta Sniper, thank you very much. Big upgrade from the first Instagram clone, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. We are all growing together. Thank you, I appreciate your support. Have you tried React Native IDE? Yes, I tried. I think it's here, OpenID. Look. I didn't, I was trying it like quite a long time ago, and I probably need to update it because I was part of a private beta. And from recently I have not been trying it, but it's really powerful. I think you just need to create a device. For multi-language, I think someone else already answered you. The Expo localization is a great one. Notjust.dev is live. Yes, we are. I'd love to watch, but I have to go. I will look at the video afterwards. As always, keep up the great work. Your tutorials have been life-changing. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Come on. Yeah, waiting for the application to load. Someone was interested in the React Native ID. Here it is. It's loading. Here will be the logs. I'm currently Googling how to get the spaces between the flat list. I always forget that, and you had it in the pizza delivery tutorial. What do you mean space between flat list? Do you mean space between the items in a flat list? Projects that lists the contacts on the phone. I don't think we integrated the contact lists. But that should be something that I need to take notes. Maybe we should do it soon. Does Cloudinary load videos uploaded to JT? What's JT? Uploaded to it? Yes, we did that. Look, this is a video that we are uploading to Cloudinary. Here we have a video uploaded from our React Native application, and we are rendering it with a normal video component, but it's delivered from Cloudinary. We can check that by opening the terminal. Oh, come on. I think I'm opening the terminal and then pressing J and going to the network tab, then reloading, again reloading, come on. Yeah, the idea is taking too long to load, so I'm gonna continue with the simulator. Let's do J. Gap horizontal and vertical between the rows. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna answer that in a second. What's happening here? Require optional isn't a function. What did I do? Maybe -c. Do I? So while this is loading, the gap, yes. In the application tabs index, here I have a flat list. So the content container style gap is going to add spaces between one axis, I think between the rows, and then we have also is it for the style gap 10. We'll add it on the other part. No, there is wrapper, column wrapper style. I think this is the one that you need. This is the styles applied to separate columns. So the style gap is not going to do anything, but this gap and this gap are going to add it on both axes. Don't tell me that my IDE broke something here, because I didn't change anything right now. I will remove this one. Do you think it's from the new post content that I added? From constants. What is going on here? That's fun out of nowhere error. Expo modules core. Not sure if I need those libraries. I will add them if it doesn't work, but let's do RM, RF, node modules, package lock. To reinstall the packages. Then let's try npx expo. Install, maybe dash dash fix as well. Hello, Abod from Syria. How are you doing? I know it does upload to Cloudinary, but does it consume data as much as uploading video and delivering it from Firebase storage? Yes, because when uploading like the original video, like it's going to consume the amount of data equal to the size of a video. But later on, when downloading it, you can download an optimized version, and instead of always, for example, if original video is 100 megabytes, uploading it is going to consume 100 megabytes if you want to have like the original quality of a video. But when downloading it, instead of downloading 100 megabytes, you can downscale it and download only 10 megabytes. And then if later you can progressively download more quality, like with a higher quality, and replace it. Cannot determine which native SDK version your project is because Expo is not installed. npm install. Arpan is asking, every time I try to follow an old project, sometimes even just a month old, I always lose track due to some updates or other. So please tell me where and how to learn React Native. I'm a beginner. I believe the best way would be to try, like when I explain things, I try to show you the source of that thing. For example, I show you when working with Expo AV, where I took this information, because I know a lot of things, but I don't know everything. Like I'm taking information from documentations. So if you see that I'm using Expo AV, open it side by side, because if there are updates, most probably the documentation is going to tell that. So try to see like what I'm doing and what documentation is saying, and think about like what are the new changes or what's the updates based on this. And this way you're gonna manage to use like any kind of tutorial, and also learn this skill of checking documentation, reading documentation, understanding it, playing with it, and it's going to be a very valuable skill for you. Tell me that it's working. No. Two views with the same name. What two views with the same name? No route named new. something is going wrong. Context navigator. Expo video view. Expo video. Post list item. Let's debug. Debug. I'm guessing that both Cloudinary and Expo AV is trying to use the same view, the same Expo video. That might be the issue. Hello, Francesco. How are you doing? Is this the same code that was working fine? Yes, I just tried to run it on the IDE, like React Native IDE, and it stopped working, but it was working totally fine. That's a bit weird. Hello, Aditya. How are you? In my file post list, I have something like export. Post content. Do you see anything? I did one package, removed 8 packages when running debug and changed 8 packages. Expo video view. Expo video view. I'll comment. Look, what's up? It's from this post context. content. Oh no, it's still here. What's going on, man? I'll remove advanced video, advanced, yeah. Try to removing Expo AV because I believe it's because of Expo AV it was removed. Now it's not found, but we can in the new, where do we use it? Expo AV. Let's comment out this part for a second. Okay. So yeah, it's because of Expo AV and Cloudinary registering the same video view, I believe. Because right now, if I removed one of them, it worked. This here is not gonna work. The video content, but at least let's try to render the images. So yeah, images work. Images work. And now let's try to do npx expo install expo AV, because for some time it was working. And in the post content, if we uncomment it, same. It's weird that it was working for some time. Okay, maybe legacy pure dependencies is actually going to work. Let's try this one because it has saved me in a lot of cases. So let's remove node modules and package log, and then install packages with a legacy pure dependencies flag. Have huge hopes on that. Install legacy pure deps. Yamashu is asking, what do you think about React Native Paper? Is it a good UI library for production level applications? Sure, if it works for you. UI and component libraries, it's really a matter of preferences. If it works for you, if you like them, go for it. I have a BSc software engineer program coming up soon in my fall semester, and it will be about cross-platform application. We were never taught any app development. So do you have any advice like Flutter versus React Native? I'm very biased over React Native because I use it every day. I also have a lot of good arguments why React Native is better than Flutter, but again, I'm not here to put out drama. I'm not here to tell you what you should use or not. Yeah, try building like very small projects in Flutter, one in Flutter, one in React Native. See for yourself what do you like better. Inamul, hello, thank you. And as Go Full Stack is saying, if you have a web development background, especially if you have React background, if you have done some projects in React, then it's going to be super easy for you to move to React Native. It's working. I believe it's gonna work with legacy pure dependencies. Post content. Yes, we are back, baby. This just shows you that anyone goes through these struggles, through issues, errors, all of a sudden, like everything is working. I didn't change anything. It stopped working. So, and it was a matter of installing dependencies with legacy pure deps flag. Because two different libraries, in the new, we can see it here probably. The video and also the advanced video from Cloudinary, they're both using Expo AV. So yeah. Okie dokie. What I was doing, I think I was improving the post content. I moved it to the content to a separate component. Now here it's a bit better. And yeah, let me go ahead and commit this stuff, because the next step we wanted to do was likes. Git add git. So likes. The first step with likes is going to be to handle it on the user interface. So let's go ahead and define on the post list item a state called isLiked, set isLiked equal, initially let's do it false. We're gonna work with the heart icon initially, maybe later we can improve it and do it our way as well, but let's start with the heart icon. I'm going to... There are two icons here, heart O for outline and just heart for a field icon. So I want to conditionally set the name of this icon based on our state. So if isLiked question mark, I want the icon to be heart, like a full heart. Otherwise, I want it to be just the outline. And when we press on this icon, on press, I want to set isLiked to the opposite value of the current isLiked field. So now if I press on it, it becomes filled, as you can see. And I can do the same with the color. With the color, I will do it on the class name. So let's put it to add some conditional styles here. Let's put it between the brackets and let's move from a normal string to a template string. Because with a template string, we can add here some conditionals. For example, if isLiked, I want, but it's not going to be here. Wait a second. It's going to be on the, there is a color property, so it's much simpler. isLiked, the color is red, otherwise it's black. Maybe not red, but crimson. Okay. So as you can see, we are changing both the icon and the color. Another thing that we could do is wrap around the post content, put it inside a pressable component, pressable from React Native. And this way, we can add here on double, is there on double press? Well, we could implement on double press manually, but no, I'm not gonna do it here. This is like some nice to have things and we're gonna do them only if we have time. I wanted to add like double tap to like. For now, it's going to simply be like tap to like. Okay, so here we are good. Now we need to save this like in the database. To save the like in the database, let's think about what data should the like contain. The like should know the ID of a post, like what post are we liking, and the ID of a user. So for that reason, we need to create another table called likes. Let's create on Supabase another table called likes. And here we're going to have a column user ID and another one is going to be post ID. We need to actually connect these columns to the ID from the profiles and the post one to the posts, and we're going to connect them using the foreign keys. So let's press add, and we want to select the table we want to reference to. We're going to first reference the posts. How do we want to make these connections? Well, on the likes table, we're going to connect the post ID field with the ID field from the post table. action. For example, when the post updates his ID, what do we want to do? We want to update the like post ID as well. And when the post is deleted, I want to also delete all the likes that post received. So Cascade will do the same operation down to all the items that are linked to that. Let's save, and let's do the same for the foreign key towards the user ID. We're gonna connect it with the profile, but profile and user of they're all the same IDs. From the likes, I'm gonna connect the user ID to the ID of a profile, and I'm gonna do the same cascade and cascade here, save. And that's it. That means that if there will be a record with a user ID to post ID, that means that that user liked that post. And if we unlike, we simply remove a record from there. So to put it in action, let's go back to our code, and in the post list item, let's do here const like post or on like post, and we're gonna call this one. Well, first of all, we need to let's do maybe on like post on let's do save like, and here what we need to do is we need to use Supabase, access the table called likes that we just created, and do insert, and here we need to insert some values. I'm gonna look in the tabs new to see how we are inserting there. So we need an array, and the first value that we want to insert, we need there two things: user ID, and we also need post ID. The post ID, we're gonna take it from post.id. The user ID, we're gonna take it using the hook use of. We're gonna take user. So let's access user.id. And that's it. Now, when do we need to call this function? I think we need to call it. We need to add a use effect that will have the isLike state as a dependency. So whenever we are changing the local state isLiked, we're going to check we either want to save a like or we want to remove a like. And in practice, that is going to be, I'm actually going to move the avatar down here. And in practice, the save like is going to be like this. Use effect. We're gonna add the isLiked to the dependencies of a use effect. And every time we update the isLiked, this function is going to be called. And here we're gonna check if isLiked is true, then we want to save like, to save a like in the database. So let's see that in action. If I press on this one and go to this table, I'm not going to see anything because I forgot to add the policies to allow someone to insert. So let's go and press on the add RLS policy, create policy, and we're going to allow insert for authenticated users. Let's do save. And we need another policy for selecting, for reading. Select for all users. I think that's good enough. Let's do maybe authenticated users. Allow select to authenticated. So press on select and then change this role to authenticated. Let's do save. And now back to the table. Let's open it and let's try to refresh and press like. If I look in the table, I see that at this time, this user liked this post. And if I go ahead and like another post, for example, this one, I'm gonna see another like registered here. And if I go back and press again, what I want to do is I want to delete that like. It didn't happen yet, but we're gonna do that in another function, const delete like. Wait, Supabase dot from likes. I want to delete. Well, wait a second. Deleting. What? It saved a lot of times. Let's store the current like, the saved liked from the database in state like object or like record. Set the record, use state null, and when we save it, let's go ahead and get the data. And after insert, let's do dot select, and let's set like record with the data at position 0. Now when we delete the like, we can delete it based on the ID of that like. So let's check back here in the API docs, deleting. We need to add equal. So where ID is equal to the like record.id. And we need to make sure that we can delete it only if there is a like record. So we need to call delete like in this use effect in the else. So if it's like, we save it, otherwise we delete it. But we delete it only if we actually have it. So let's try to see. We're gonna scroll down. I'm gonna press this one. It's supposed to add a new like with ID 11. I'm gonna press again. I hope it deleted. Maybe not, because we don't have a off policy for that. So again, press off policy. Let's do create a policy and let's select delete. Enable delete for users based on user ID. What does that mean? That means that only the user that created the like is going to be allowed to delete that like, because it's going to check the ID of the authenticated user, compare it with the ID, with the field user ID on the table that we are creating this policy. And I'm gonna save this one. I'm gonna back here, and just because we had this user underscore ID here, it's going to compare it with this one and allow only that user to delete it. So if I like this one, it's gonna add the like with ID 12. If I press again, I hope it's going to delete it. Yes, it actually does. So just like that, we are adding likes and we are deleting likes here. And the last step is actually to fetch the like for the post, so that after refreshing, if I already liked it in the past, I want to see this here. So that is going to be another function. So here with likes, we have all the CRUD, like fetch, update, delete, and so on. So we need to fetch like. This is going to be an async function again. We're gonna get the data and probably error as well. I'm just skipping it to move a bit faster, but you need to handle errors as well. So from likes, I want to query the item that has here the ID. I need first select dot select all the fields where the not the ID, but I need to compare it this way, where user ID and post ID matches with this combination. So where user ID matches this user ID. Can I do another equal? And post ID matches this post ID. And I want to select only one item, because if there is no errors, you should only have one saved liked. In our case, it duplicated, so some will have errors, but later it's going to be good. So we need to set it back there in the set like record, and also if data, let's do it like this, if data, set it here, and also set is liked to true. Will anything have likes? Nope, because we are not calling fetch likes. When should we call fetch likes? We need to do that in a use effect with an empty dependency array, which means that we are fetching the likes when we mount the post list item. Reload. Nothing, but why? Let's do console log data null, and that means that there is an error. Let's do error. The results contain 0 rows. Let's try to comment out one of these equal signs. In the API, filtering, select user ID likes. Did I make a mistake? Most probably off policy. Enable delete, enable insert, enable a read for all users. If I do edit, public likes to authenticated. if I comment out even this equal sign, now it has a lot of rows. So instead of single here, I'm gonna do select, and I'm gonna save the 1 at position 0. Oh boy, I think I'm doing something terrible. I might have a lot of likes here, no? Not yet, but I'm gonna have. I'm gonna comment out line 34 for a second, and let me do here select. Yeah, missing sim. Oh, come on. Save. Here, let me do equal post ID to see if it's gonna work, and equal user ID. If data.length is more than 0, that's what we should check here. Okay, I see now it's working. And the posts that I previously liked, they have this field here. Okay, perfect. But why did I comment out this part? Well, because we are when we fetch initially, we are going to update this is_like to true. It's going to get here, and it's going to go in the save like. In save like. I think what we need to do is simply do if it's already saved, if like record exists, that means it's already saved, then do nothing, and only save it when there is no saved like. So now reload, it works, we don't have a lot of duplication here, and let's see if we can remove it. If I press, it removes something from there, and I can like it again, it will add something with 15, will it? No, because you know why? Because when we delete the like, if everything is good, const if there is no error, then we should set like record to null, because we deleted it. So now if let's reload. And let's remove. Let's add 15, remove, it's removed. Perfect. So just like that, we have implemented the ability to like, unlike, store them in the database, fetch them, and so on. This is just the beginning. Let me go ahead and do this. This is just the CRUD of likes. Now I also want, based on this, I want to count how many likes a post has and display that. How about fetching the user with how about fetching the post with the user's like instead of making an extra query since the database is relational? That's a good point. However, if I'm not mistaken, for that we would have to create a database function. Because we need to send to this query our user ID so that we know to which like, how to filter the like. Because by default, with the Supabase JavaScript client, like this one, select, yes, we can select relationships, but if we're gonna select the relationships when querying the post, the relationships with likes, it's simply gonna get all the likes for that post. We cannot additionally apply filters there. In the index, yes, when querying the post, we could do here, give me also likes with all the fields, but it's gonna get us all the likes of that post. We cannot apply, give me the likes for this post, but filter it based on my ID. For that, it's possible, and you're right, it would be much better than what I implemented, but for that you'd have to create a custom database function, which is not super complicated to do, but it takes a bit of time and a bit of experience with SQL. So yeah, the database has these functions that you can create, you can name it, you can add arguments, for example, user ID, and then you can fetch posts with likes filtered by this user ID. Does that make sense? Hey, Mansoor Ali. Thank you very much for your message. Are you going to implement Reels as well? I don't plan that. I was at the dentist today and I cannot drink coffee, so today is so hard. It's crazy. I'm just drinking water. I'm so sleepy the whole day. So yeah, the next step, as I said, I want to calculate automatically the number of likes, and that, if I'm not mistaken, we're gonna be able to do it here. Let's just we're gonna see that in a second. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna be back and we continue because we still have a lot of things to do. We need to calculate the likes, and later we are going to implement push notifications. Very excited about that one. So I'm gonna be back in 1 minute and we continue. All right. So what I wanted to do is under the post list item, after the content, how is it on Instagram? Let me check that. Because we also have a post caption. So that is going to be a simple text with post.caption. Is that? Yes. And I'm gonna style it in a second. But I just need to check how that works on Instagram. So it's actually the icons go first and then we have the caption after the icons. And the likes a little bit above. And for example, it's going to be here text, I know, 58 likes. Something like that. Here we have two texts. One of them is post.user.username. And let's style them a bit. Let's put them in a view. Let's close this view here. And let's add a class name padding free. Maybe padding horizontal free or padding X free. Okay. This one is going to have a class name font bold, maybe semi. The same thing for the username. To make only it bold, we're gonna put it in another text because we can wrap text inside each other, and I will add the class name semi-bold to this one as well. And maybe a gap 2 so that we have some spacing between the items, the texts. This is going to be the space here. Okay. Okay, so now we're displaying the actual caption, but I want to also display the proper amount of likes that a post has. How are we gonna do that? Let's see if there is an easy way to accomplish it. Supabase JavaScript client query count. Select count exact. I can do that separately, but maybe it's going to be possible to do it at the same time, because now counting, I think it should be possible. Let's see here, fetching data, count. Querying with count option. Look at this, filtering through reference tables. Oh boy, so I think you can disregard what I was saying, that it's not possible to fetch the like at the same time. But let's try that out, because it would be really nice not to have to query the like. So if I do here likes, so basically give me also the likes when querying the posts, that is going to let me do equal I will simply do equal. I will only query one post just for me to be able to easier debug and see. I'm gonna query the one that has more likes here in the table. Likes. Post ID 49. Let's query in the feed only this one. And now I want to console log data, and this way maybe even a JSON.stringify. Okay, now as you can see, we have a user and we have likes, but it has all the likes. Yes, now all of them are from me, but imagine if, for example, this 49 would be from someone else, for example, from this user. And this one also to post 49 is going to be from this user. And only one of these likes is supposed to be from myself. In that case, I should not see the ones that are not from me. For example, I should not see this one and I should not see this one. And as I read just now, you can do filtering through reference table. If a filter on a reference table column is not satisfied. So that means that I need to add here dot equal likes dot user underscore ID equal to my user dot ID. And now I'm supposed to see only my likes. Yes, that's true. And in a good scenario, like I'm gonna have only one like, but the good thing is that it filtered out the likes that do not belong to me. Because this post with 49, as you can see, has other likes as well. Okay, that's super cool. That means that now in the post list item, I don't need to fetch the like anymore. Because the like itself, I can do it here. Use effect when the post dot likes change. And in fact, I think I should actually rename it to my underscore likes. Still works, and it's renamed to my likes, because later I might actually want to query all the likes. Then set like record post dot my likes at position 0. I'm gonna check if post dot my likes dot length is more than 0, then set it in state, and also set is liked to true. Yes, it's set to true, and I'm gonna slowly remove all of them by removing it, refreshing. It will fetch the next one. I'm gonna remove it, refresh. It's gonna fetch the next one, and so on until I get rid of all the duplicated likes. And now I don't have any likes for this post. Right? Let's see. Yeah, my likes is an empty array. And if I add the like, it's gonna add it here. And after refresh, it's going to be in the my likes. Now if I remove it and refresh, you're gonna see that it disappeared from there. So that's super cool. And if I go back to the index and comment out this equal sign that only fetches one, but instead fetch all of them, we see that now all of the likes are queried at the same time with the post. So thank you very much for the recommendation. I actually learned something new today. I didn't know that you can filter based on the referenced table. So let me do here git add, git commit -m, fetch post like with the post. Line third part. What would you like to see in the third part there? Will you put the replays on the YouTube channel? Yes, the videos are going to stay on the YouTube. But actually, I was looking for a count of the number of likes. Can we do that? Query reference table with count. Okay, that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. And that means that I can do likes and here count. Will that work? Wait, I'm gonna do console, yeah. Likes with count. Now if I look here, likes count 0, likes count 0, 0, 0, 0. Any of them has 1? Come on. Yes, likes count 2. Perfect. So it's as simple as that. We do the reference column and we specify the count here, and it's going to give us back the format of likes. That's an array, and inside that array there is a count. Okay, so that means that in post list item we can access it as, instead of 58 likes, we're going to reference post dot likes at position 0 dot count, or if nothing is, if we fail to get that number, let's do 0, maybe add some question marks to safely access it. So now this is 2 likes, 1 like, 1 like, 0, and so on. It's not going to be real time. So if we add a like, it's not going to update to 2 here. It's only going to update after we reload. It's going to be 3. And if I do take out the like and reload, it's going to be back to 2. But that's okay. At least it works. And I'm very happy with how Supabase makes, how easy Supabase makes querying like reference and relational data. Sharon, my question is, what would you expect to see in Lime third part? Yes, go full stack, that's right. Hello, Colendo. First of all, thank you for the message. You're welcome here. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if this is the first time you're joining. We do a lot of free content here. And on notjust.dev website, you'll find more information about our community, the courses that we have. And yeah, you're welcome. Anyway, the likes feature is done with proper counting and so on. I'm just very excited about this one because you remember with DynamoDB how hard this kind of stuff would be, like counting or getting the number of likes, or as simple as it sounds, but this should not be taken for granted. Supabase is really awesome. So let's do git add git commit count likes. Alright guys, so the likes are done. The last step is going to be push notifications. Let's go. What I want to do is, whenever someone likes a post, I want to notify that user that, hey, someone liked their post. Yeah, that is going to be the plan. Give me 2 minutes, I'm gonna be back and we implement push notifications. Hola, hola, Coca-Cola. Hello. So, push notifications. Our goal is to implement push notifications and to, whenever someone likes a post, to send a notification to that specific user. In order to do that, the user should first of all allow push notifications, and during that process, if he allows, we're gonna get a token. Knowing that token, we're gonna be able to send a notification to that user. A token represents a device because the notifications are sent to an actual device. For that, we're gonna use Expo notifications, which is a library that allows us to fetch the push notification token that we need to send this notification. And also it has features such as scheduling or responding to notifications. But most of the thing that we're going to need from here is to register, to ask for permission, to get the push notification token, and then using that one to send the notifications to the user. So let's go ahead and start by copying npx expo install expo notifications. And let's paste it here to install expo notifications in our project. Hopefully I didn't break the peer dependencies again. Okay, it still works. And yeah, let's continue. Here we have a usage. I'm actually going to open from the guide that I sent you. I will open push notification setup. I think in this documentation under the guides, it's a bit more clear. So yeah, because we actually have to install the expo device as well and expo constants. So I'm going to copy again this command, paste it to install the 2 additional dependencies. The expo notification library is used to request the user permission and to fetch the push token, but it's not supported on emulator and simulator. So for that, we're going to need to use an actual device. In order to understand if we're using emulator or simulator or an actual device, we are using this library expo device, and expo constants allows us to read the project ID from our configuration. Here is a very minimal example. It's done in the app.tsx. I'm going to show you how to do it in a special file in a provider, because I want to keep all the configuration and all the stuff related to the notifications in a separate file. So what I'm going to do in providers, I'm going to do here notification provider.tsx. Let's export default function notification provider. It's going to wrap around. I'm not sure if it needs to wrap around. I'm not sure if we're gonna export notifications, but yeah, let's just prepare it like this, and we're gonna return the children for now. Let's go ahead and wrap it around the part of our application that needs to handle notifications. You would think that we should do it at the layout, similar to how we did the off provider, but I think that's not the best approach, because while we are not logged in, while we are on the off screen trying to create an account, we don't want to request permission to send notification. I think when it should happen is only after you signed in and you get to the tabs to your actual application. Maybe even later, but here it's a good place. So let's open tabs _ layout, and wrap around our whole tab navigator here inside the notification provider like this. I'm gonna wrap it around tabs. And now let's go back to our notifications provider. Now everything that we're going to implement here is going to be executed when we get on the tab navigator, which is at the moment our home screen. So let's go back to check the minimal working example from Expo documentation. First things first, at the top we are setting this notifications handler to tell like what should happen with different when we handle the notification, whether we should show an alert, the badge, and so on. We need to also import the notifications. Let's import these three lines: device, notifications, and constants here. So far, nothing is gonna happen. I'm gonna skip the send push notification for a second. And just trying to show you like the actual minimal example, like step by step. And this function is something that we actually need. The register for push notifications. Let's copy this function. Make sure to check where it ends. It ends just before the application begins. So let's copy the whole function. It's a lot of code, but we can go through it together. And I will add it actually after our notification provider at the bottom of the screen. It also uses this handle registration error, which is a simple function that will display an alert. So let's copy that function as well, just to have to edit a bit less stuff. Let's make sure to import platform from React Native. This and what else? I think everything else is here. So when we call this register for push notification function, we are kind of setting up everything, and the goal is to get the push notification token from the user. On Android, we are also setting like the channel configuration, like the name of a channel, the vibration pattern, the light color, and so on. Now we are checking and working only with a device, because in the else statement, if we're on the simulator, you're going to see that we're going to show an alert saying must use a physical device for push notifications. Now here, what we are doing is we are first getting the permissions. If it's not granted, we are requesting it, because here we're checking if the user gave permission previously. If not, we are asking the user permission. And if he still rejected it, we're gonna say permission not granted to get push notification token, and we're gonna stop here. That means that the user declined permission to get his token. However, if we pass these checks, that means that we have permissions for push notifications. What we need to do is we need to call notifications get expo push token and provide here a project ID to link it to our specific project on Expo servers. Then we have this token string. We are console logging so that we can see it, and we are returning from this function. So it's a lot of things are happening here, but we are both handling the configuration, we are handling permissions, and we are also requesting the push token. Now, after that, we can use this function easily, and it will return us the push notification token. To use it, we're gonna scroll down. In our component, we need the state that will hold this expo push token. Let's store it here in our notification provider, and let's import use state. What else? In a use effect, we are registering for push notifications async. the function that we just created. Let's close the use effect and let's add the empty dependency list like this. Make sure to import use effect from React. So what's happening here? We're calling register for push notification async. This is a function that I explained recently. And when it returns the token, we are setting it in the state. If it has an error, we are setting the error also in this Expo push token. I don't know why, but anyway. So let's go ahead and check the logs. First of all, here we see the alert must use physical device because we are not running it on a physical device. I'm going to open up my physical device and I'm going to scan the QR code. But before that, I'm going to probably delete Expo Go to reset all the permissions and so on. Delete. Let's scan the QR code. Oh, I need to reinstall Expo Go. Give me just 1 second. From App Store. Is the volume low? Yeah, I'm not using my web. I'm not in my studio. I don't have like my microphone, but it shows that it's still okay-ish. How is the experience for everyone else? Okay, let me open this one. Okay, as you can see, it's running. I'm on the sign in screen, so it doesn't yet ask me for the notification permission. But after I signed in, as you can see, I have the pop-up that asks me to allow to send push notification. I can press allow, and once I do this, project ID not found. That's another issue, the project ID not found. It's happening here in the part where we're trying to get the project ID. That's because we haven't registered our project with EAS. To do that, we're going to first install -g . Let me find that one. EAS init. Come on. npm install -g EAS CLI. Make sure to install that one first. Come on. Well, in my case, it's already installed. And after that, you would run EAS init. This will initialize the EAS configuration. It's going to allow you to select your account. And after that, it will allow you to create a project on your account. Let's press enter. And after a second, like it created that project, it added the project ID to your app.json. So if you look in app.json, now it should have some kind of ID for EAS project ID. And if you open via expo.dev, you're gonna see your project there. Now with this project ID, Expo knows like what is your project and how to send notifications to your project. If I go back to the terminal here and reload my application on my physical device, I need to sign in again for some reason. Come on. Reload. One second, what's going on there? It doesn't open the keyboard. Okay, now it opened. I'm signing in again. And as you can see in the logs, we have the Expo push token, which means that this is the token how users from my application can send me notifications. If I copy this token, we can go back here, and I don't need that one anymore. Let's scroll a little bit until we go to test using the push notification tool. There is a tool to test this notification, so let's open it up. And on this tool, as you can see, we need the Expo push token. We need a title and a body. And go ahead, and what you have to do is actually, let me connect it so you can see it as well. Here is my device. So if we have our application open, we're not gonna see the notification. Let's move it here. So, oh, sorry, it takes a bit of time. So if I press send notification now, we're not gonna see it. But if the application is in background and I press send notification, I'm actually in work mode. So I need to send it again. It's not working. Send. Okay, I see it here. Body, title, body, title. Perfect. So our notifications are working. We are able to deliver them to the user. Now it's about configuring them properly to make sure that we show them in different ways, like when the application is in background, when the application is in foreground. For example, let's go through the code here in the add minimum example again. What do we have here? Handle registration. Okay, we have this, Get text for push token, we have this. In the use effect, besides registering for push notification async, what it's actually, what is also doing is it's registering a listener to listen for notifications when we get them while the application is in foreground. Because if the application is in foreground, you're not going to see the notification pop up. You're only going to see the notification pop up when the application is in the background. However, if you still want to do something when you receive a notification while the user is using the application, we need to add this notification listener in the use effect of the notification provider. In the use effect, we need here to define the listener. We need to create it using the use ref here. Import use ref. And it's simply doing set notification. What we can do is do alert, maybe alert. And let's do notification dot date or notification.request.content.title maybe. Subtitle. So in this case, I'm simply showing an alert when we receive a notification while we are using the application. But also make sure to remove this listener when we unmount the component. And we're going to do that here by checking if notification listener dot current, then we're going to call notification listener dot current dot remove. Is that how they do here as well? No, it's actually notifications dot remove notification subscription. I don't know why. Dot current, like this. Title. Let's do a default notification. Same thing here. Response listener. I'm not sure what add notification response received listener. Probably I'm not sure what's that. Notification response received. Okay. The notifications are working currently on Expo Go because Expo Go is set up with correct configuration with Firebase and iOS. However, before you go to production, you're gonna have to follow step 3 to set up the Firebase cloud messaging and with iOS as well. You're gonna have to create a Firebase project, get a configuration file, upload it to Expo, and if you follow this documentation here, it's very well explained, like step by step with screenshot of what you have to do to set it up in order for it to work in production as well. Because right now it's working on Expo Go, on development build and in production it's not gonna work without configuring with your credentials. We tested with this one. Yeah, it's working. The last function that we need here is sending a push notification to someone. So here is a function. I'm also going to add it somewhere at the bottom. And in order to send a push notification to someone, the only thing that we need is his Expo push token. And using this fetch request, we can send a post request to this endpoint from Expo, and we're gonna send a notification to that user with that Expo push token. But in order to know his Expo push token, we need to store it. We need to save it at the database layer because I'm using the application, but I want to send a notification to someone else. So I need to store and save it for later, the push token. To do that, what are we going to do? Here, when we get the token, we are setting it in state. I think what we should also do here, I'm gonna, after the use effect, let's do here const save token, save user push token. This is an async function, and we're gonna call it, we're gonna save it on the Supabase. What? Well, first we need that field on the Supabase profiles. So each user, we're gonna add a field for each user under a columns called push token. It's going to be of type text, and let's save. Now, when we save this push token, we want to do a wait Supabase dot from the table called profiles. I want to update the user that has the ID user.id, but we need the user. So where do we get it from? We get it from the use of hook. So here user ID, and we want to set expo. How did we call the field? Push token is equal to expo push token. And then, then that's it. But we need to make sure that we have a user.id. So we're gonna fail early. So if there is no user ID or there is no push token, we should not do anything. Now we need to call this function using a use effect. Let's call it when either the user changes or the push expo push token changes. Now, if I'm going to open the application on my physical device and reload it, I expect us to save the push token on in the database. So yes, it is. It's here, expo push token. Now, when, for example, we like a post, we get this alert a lot. Maybe we can comment it out here, handle must use physical device. I'm gonna comment it out, I don't need it. So now what I can do in the providers, notification provider, I can send this push notification knowing the expo push token of that user. For example, in the components post list item, when we are sending the like, what we can also do here is, what can we do? What can we do? Send notification to the user of that, to the owner of that post. So let's do that in a separate file. I'm gonna create a library called utils. Let's do here notifications.ts and export a function send like notification. What information do we need there is well, for example, it's only the like object, right? Because based on the like object, we can know the post that we like, we can know the user that posted that post, and we know who posted that like. So everything is gonna be there. So let's call here send like notification with data, which is the like, or data at position 0 actually. Now here I can do console log like to see what's happening. If, for example, I like this one, boom, I see created at ID, post ID, and user ID. What I need to send a notification is the push token of a user of a post of this like. So we're gonna do an await Supabase dot from. We're gonna fetch the likes. Or maybe we can fetch the post that we liked, or maybe the like. It's either we fetch directly the post or we get that there through the like. Dot select. We're gonna select everything about that like, where ID, ID equal to like ID. Let's do const data, console log data. But I don't need only information about the like, but also about the posts. So if I save a like, it's null. Why? Like ID. Oh, it's from likes. Okay, so I have information about the posts, but I also need information about who created that post. So that would be, can I do that? Can I do 2 levels? I think so. If I add here users like this and properly JSON stringify to see it better. Let's see. It's null. Just because I added this one? Yep. Users, not users, profiles. The table name should be there. So look here, we have information about like, information about the post that we created the like for, and information about the profile with his push token. So that's what we need. We need const push token equal to data dot posts dot profiles dot push underscore token, and everything probably should be with question mark because I'm not sure if it's gonna be there. If there is no push token, we don't have anything to do. However, if there is a push token, we can use this function that I'm gonna, from notifications provider, let's copy paste this function from here to our utils. So for now, let's simply do send push notification to the push token that we found, to a push token of the owner of that post. So now if I'm gonna close my physical device and like a post, well, my own post, I didn't receive it, but let's see why. Push token. It's undefined. Why? Push token. Profiles, posts. Oh, data is an array, you see? So I need to do here dot single. And now, yes, look at this. Look at this. I'm gonna do player. You see, notification from Expo Go. And let me move it here. If I unlike and like it again, we see the notification being sent to this push token. What we can do is, of course, adjust the message and maybe even receive it here as a property message. So we can extract it from here to here. And we don't even need to send additional the Expo push token, because we can put the push token here in the to and only send the message. This way we can have multiple functions like send like notification, send comment notification, send something that will have the responsibility of gathering the data and crafting the message, and then calling this send push notification that is doing the post request. So the title here can be someone liked your post. Some data here can be post ID. You can specify the actual data of a post from, for example, data.posts.id. And here, instead of ID, we can actually take the name of a profile, because we have data about the profile. So we can do profiles dot, I think should be username. Let's check right now with this approach. If I like it now, we see Vadim liked your post, which is coming from my username because I'm using the same account. Perfect! Oh boy, so that's our git add, git commit, push notifications. And that, guys, is how you would implement push notifications. Oh boy, we managed to do a lot of things today. I really enjoyed it. We covered some of the advanced topics like videos, likes, connections, backend, push notifications. We fixed some bugs like fallbacks, update profile. And yeah, now this application is even closer to a proper application that you can continue building, adding features, and deploying to production. Hey, 1 million The Zero, thank you very much for the donation. Can you please add story creation part? Maybe we can do that as a separate project because story creation is something quite advanced. Like, I don't think we can fit it in this video, or yeah, it needs like separate things. But I'd be excited to do that using Skia maybe. That would be cool. Alright guys, so that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure to subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comments down below what other applications, what other use cases you'd like me to cover in the next videos, and I'll definitely consider that. Thank you very much, take care, stay hydrated, and write clean code. Bye bye guys.